Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shorter Tea Tuesdays. I hope you're having a wonderful time. It is literally the last week of Marvelous March. But all of us marvelous birthdays in March, we still, celebrating because that's what we do. We celebrate literally all year long until it rolls back around again. I had to be extra. Y'all just know that's just how I am. But anyways, welcome to Shredity Tuesdays. I do want to give you a little bit of well, I say my apology because I did not realize that last week's segment for the cancer care series, I didn't realize that you could not hear me and then you only heard the video play for what 2 minutes and 20 something seconds, and then it went back to me talking and then you couldn't hear anything that I said. So I didn't realize that was happening until way after the fact, when I tried to upload it to my to my podcast and everything, and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I do apologize. I'll make sure that you get those resources, and hey, one day I will have a production team. I'm keep talking about this. I'm gonna have a production team where they'll handle all of this for me. And all I have to do is just sit down and have some fun. So, anywho, let me give you the resource for today. I know you guys have heard about this before and you've heard me talk about it, but it is the Oklahoma Senior Nutrition Farmers Market. I said that all backwards. Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program. And so the applications are starting. I've been talking about this for quite some time now, but the Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program, they provide a $50 EBT debit card to eligible seniors. Now, it is income based, but this card can be used to purchase local grown produce, unprocessed honey, and fresh cut herbs from our farmers market. And the farmers market season is starting well pretty soon for some of the markets that are opening before June. And so if you sign up your senior now, you end up getting your card extra early. I'm just saying, because I'm one of the recruiters. So I'm always recruiting as many seniors as I can. I can only speak for Oklahoma, but I'm quite sure there's a nutrition program in a state or city near you. And so you can always look up that information. But for my Oklahomans, you can go to oklac.org /EBT. And then you can see if you qualify. It's really, really easy. And if you need help, just call me. I can help you. It's no biggie. Don't call me right now because I'm getting ready to talk about my special guest. Y'all ready? All right, let me bring on my special guest today. Hello, Miss Cheryl. How are you?
Hello, great to be here.
Yes, it's good to meet you. And
Yeah.
everything is going okay on your neck of the woods?
Oh, everything's amazing. Yes. I think it's something that we create, right? We create how our day is going to be in any given moment. So yeah, everything's fantastic, and I'm so excited to be here and yeah, just have a conversation with you. So it's great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yes, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Now, I do want to say, you guys notice the title after her name. It says the Courageous Comeback Coach. So I know you're wondering, triple C's, what do all these C's mean? I think the very first part with the courageous speaks volumes. So tell us a little bit about, well, how did you become a coach? How did that come about?
Well, about 6 months ago, last June, I was asked to be in a book. I was asked to write my story in Ignite Courage. So, and first thought was, I'm not an author, I don't have a story to tell you, anything, right? So, what I did was my friend's like, you know what, put your hand up. And so I'm like, okay, up went my hand, and I was a yes. And that started the journey of, you know what, I really do have a story, and every one of us do have things that happened in our lives and things that you can share with people. And so I became an international best-selling author in October, so that was really exciting.
Well,
And
congratulations. Let's not
thank you.
bypass that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun and a lot of growing and a lot of earning, a lot of learning.
Learning
And
and earning.
so yeah, and so through that, and just talking with people and sharing my story, I reconnected with some people, and they're like, well, I've gone through that, or my dad was not so nice to me, or I used to live in the same city that you lived in. So it was like, wow, this is really cool that people were kind of connecting to my story and things that happened with me. And so I just through the publishing company that I'm with, we started looking at, okay, what can we do to change it? And so Courageous Comeback Coach came as
Ah,
something that we were looking at. And so and through the years, I've come back from a lot of things. In my 40s, I became 40, turned single, and lost my job all in the same month. So it's like,
oh goodness.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like, okay, that's a comeback, right? You're coming back from 20 years of, who are you, right? Like, what do
Mhm.
you never know who you are when you're, a couple for so long, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, what show do I like? What do I like to eat? What do I want to do? All of these things that you don't really know, because you sort of lose yourself when someone for that long.
Oh, yeah. When it's a good thing that you mentioned that when you start to lose yourself, what does that actually mean? Because I know it means different things for different people, but in your story, what does it mean when you say you felt like you lost yourself?
Well, one of the things is I couldn't be alone. I could
Oh,
not.
okay.
I could not go home. I could go home and be for like an hour or so, and then I had to leave. I just, and I didn't know what I liked, what I liked to do, what I liked to eat, what I liked to watch. Even though we were, independent of each other, I still was dependent on him. And so, and even financially, emotionally, all of that. And so I really had to, through self development and stuff like that, really look at who am I as a person? Who am I, and what do I want? What do I want to do now that I am single? It's been amazing. The journey has been unbelievable.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it worked out the way that it needed to.
Yeah, of course. I didn't think so in
Yeah.
the time.
Oh, right.
I don't think you ever do when you're going through a crisis or going through stuff. You don't think it's ever going to work out, but really, I think it brings you to where you are now. It's things that you learn and grow and can share now with people.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm happy that you decided, or whomever encouraged you to share your story so many years later, and now here you are doing amazing things. And so, what's the name of your book?
It's called Ignite Your Courage.
Ignite Your Courage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also in the process of doing another book. I was asked to be a project leader in this book, and it's called Ignite Joy. So I'm in the process of writing in that one, which will come out in May. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay. Now, don't you find it funny how you said I'm not an author, and now you're writing a second book?
I know it's crazy how the universe kind of in a direction and everything else falls into place.
Place, yes, definitely. Do you feel when you're writing, do you feel empowered when you're writing now? Does it just come as a second nature?
I don't know about second nature. When I was asked to do this book, it was like, I don't know what I'm going to write about, because I had just literally written my story. It came out in October. So it's like, now what do what brings me joy? What do I want to write about? So I don't know about easily, but it's been fun. It's been,
Okay.
and the support and the team behind it really encourages you and really helps you to define your story. So it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, good. Now, where can they find Ignite Your Courage. Where can they find this book?
They can find it on Amazon. It is you can get it on Amazon, or if you want to come to me directly, I can get you a signature copy of my book as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
signature copy. Now, you're not located in Oklahoma. Let me tell everybody now before they be like, oh, where is she? I can come to her. So, where are
yeah.
you located? What state?
I'm in Canada. I'm in Vancouver, BC, Canada.
Ah,
Yeah.
Canada, not in the States. So,
No, no, but you
so
know
if,
what? I'd send it out to anyone that wants it, just because I want to encourage other people to read it. You know, not only my story, but all of the other 19 authors that are in the book as well. To, you know, encourage
oh,
somebody, you know, to take. You know, they might read a story that will go, oh, that's going to change my life forever. You know, so it's not about it. You could be in wherever, and I would send it to you. Or if they want Amazon, they can also do it on Amazon as well.
on Amazon. Okay. Well, I will make sure I send and share this out. So, if they can
Appreciate
uh, definitely support and read your book or gift your book to someone, however that it may be. And I also want to share it in this book club. So I've started this book club called Read the Tea for Adults,
that. Oh wow.
just for me to just look at different types of books and
Yeah.
different authors out there. So I will definitely put this in the club. I love to
Thank
connect
you.
with people. Yes, you're welcome.
Appreciate that. And I'll get you a copy. Well, I'll get
Oh,
your
okay.
information after and I'll send you a copy.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. And I feel with you saying 19 authors, like there's 19 different stories. And I haven't read the book, guys, but I'm just thinking, just imagining 19 different authors, 19 different stories, and how empowering that is to ignite your courage. I mean, that to me, that can be very overwhelming. And are they all women or men or
No, this
just
book
kind of
there is a mixture. There is
a
I
mixture?
think believe there's three men in the book.
Okay.
So Ignite Joy is all women. So it's kind of been a it's been a good journey. We've really started to connect and build some friendships because there are people all over the world in this book as well. And I actually have three friends that decided to join me in the book too. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's nice. That's nice. I can't.
Yeah.
Now, the new book comes out in May.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas. We're doing a book launch in Gatherama in Las Vegas. So yeah,
Okay,
and I'm
Vegas.
excited.
Yes, you should be.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you'll get a little bit of rest somewhere in between. But
uh, probably when I
Vegas.
get home.
Oh, you said only when you get home. Okay,
Probably, yeah.
it's like you sleep when you get home. Right now, it's time
Pretty
to
much
party
when
and
you
have a
go to
good time.
Vegas, yes.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. So the one that's coming out in May, how many authors are in that book? Is it 19 as well, or is it a different number?
No, there's more. I believe there's 22 because we've added a few
Okay.
people came in a little bit later. So I believe there's like 22 of us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So
yeah.
what brings you joy? What is something that you'd like to do or that just brings you happiness?
Well, I live 5 minutes from the beach, so that's a big joy for me. Yeah, I basically can walk out my door and I'm at beautiful Ambleside Beach, so that always brings me joy. You know, I love to be in nature and hike and do that kind of thing as well. That's I feel, but just being with people in general, I like to go out and meet people and see what they're up to and connect like beautiful people like yourself that are doing lots of good things and just really find out what the world's doing and traveling too. Traveling is
And
always fun.
traveling. Oh, nice. Okay, now
Yeah.
let's go back to the beach because I absolutely love water. If I stayed where you're staying, I would probably never leave the house because I just love the scenery of the beach and
Yeah.
everything. It's just beautiful. So do you go swimming often or
Well, not
surfing?
in
Are
the
you a
winter
surfer?
time. I can't really in the winter time, but yeah, in the summertime, I'm in the ocean pretty much
Okay.
every day or every other day, as much as I can be in the ocean. Yes.
Okay, pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Now I've never been to Canada, but is it very cold up there? Like,
Depends on where you are. We're on the west coast, so it's a little bit warmer in the west coast. We get a lot
okay,
of rain in the summertime. It can like 5 degrees, 4 degrees, which is Celsius.
Okay.
Right. So, other provinces, yes. I come from another province called Alberta, and they get -45 and -30. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
This in January it was very cold. So yeah, so BC is a lot better for
it's
sure.
a lot better. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully it'll warm up pretty quick for everyone.
yeah. Probably a
I
couple
just
weeks it'll start. Our spring flowers are starting to bloom already. We've got the cherry blossoms that are starting to come out. So yeah, a couple
okay.
weeks will be good.
It'll be good. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
So I want to say, with the thought of joy and doing things that you enjoy, you mentioned nature. Um, what
yeah.
is it about nature that brings that peaceful, what's I'm missing a word here. Um, I'm just gonna say feeling, but that's not the word I want to say. But what is peace? What does nature give you that peaceful feeling over? I feel like I'm messing up my words. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do. Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
And I think you said the key word was peaceful. Like when
Mm,
you go into nature, there's something about the air, the leaves, the oxygen. It just really it makes you feel at ease. It takes out any stress or anything maybe that you're dealing with. It helps to
exactly.
ground you a little bit. I'll go into nature and hug a tree. So they say go hug a tree, and yeah, it's just it's like you're in a different world. Like you
Yeah.
get out of the city life, the computers, the phones, the everything, and you just go into nature and you can just be there. You don't have to think, you don't have to talk. If you're by yourself, you don't have to talk. And I think you hear things differently too. You hear little crackles, or you'll hear the birds, or you'll see the squirrels, or just that part of the calmness, I believe, is big.
Right. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I love to hear the birds sing. It's like it's like they're having a conversation. I
Yeah.
have these birds that I have adopted them because I allowed them to be out on my door. Uh,
Yeah. Nice.
but I just love to hear them sing in the morning. Like it's like first thing in the morning, they're
Yeah.
just singing away. I know they're probably talking and talking about whatever, but I just love to hear the noise, and it's just soothing.
Yeah.
It really is. It really
It
is.
is very calming. Yeah. Do you have like little chickadees or something? Little sparrows
Yes.
or
Yes. They're
sparrows?
sparrows.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
about a total of 15. I think we're
Oh my
almost close
goodness.
to
Wow.
20. Yes, and let me tell you what happened because
Mhm.
I'll give you the short version. They kept trying to build the nest right above the door, and I felt like
Oh,
the nest was going to fall because I
right.
go in and out the door.
Of course.
Um, and so the first two times, I'm like, oh, what is this mud? And I'm thinking something had happened. So
Yeah.
I said, let me just stop taking it down and let's see what happened. And within
Yeah.
a day, they had made a
Oh
nest.
my
The nest
goodness.
been up there for the last, it's been up there for the last, what, maybe three, almost 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Wow.
yes. And so the first one, now I don't know if the birds are changing or not, so bear with me.
Yeah.
But I started naming the birds. So I named the birds, and I forgot the first name of it. But anyway, so she had 5 birds, and then I
Oh
named
my
them June
goodness.
bugs in them because I couldn't name them all of
Yeah.
them. And then the next summer, the 2 more birds came back, and I gave them a different name. And
Yeah.
she had 4 birds, and
Oh my
then
goodness.
so,
Wow.
but I've noticed that when they're all together, that because my tree in front of my house is not really big for all
Yeah.
of them, they'll go across the street
Yeah.
and they'll be all on the tree. And I've counted them. I was like, oh my God, those are all the birds that has hatched over here at my house.
Oh my God, that's
So
so cool. That's
it
really
is.
cool. They obviously feel safe in your energy in order for them to do that. Like you obviously have a calming, soothing area for them to put their nest at. So that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I listen because I was kind of concerned at first, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna allow this to happen because I think it's neat and I can get to experience what all is happening with the birds and all that. Because I've noticed right before the birds are about to hatch. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
it's hatching for birds or not, but right before the birds are about to hatch, um, they have this major party.
Oh, really?
And I call I know it sounds strange, but I call it like it's a baby shower. You know, we all
Yeah.
get together and we're just hanging out because my yard is like they'll just be all in the yard, all on top of the house. And it's like even other birds that come around and like celebrating. That's how I look at it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so the birds will be here in a few days or either the next day.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they come just like that. So I'm learning something on my end too.
Of course.
And my
Wow, that's
husband, yeah.
really amazing. I love birds. Eagles are my birds, and I just,
Ooh,
they're just so beautiful and magical, and they're smart. And I have, do you know what a seagull is? A seagull? The
yes,
seagulls?
yes.
Yeah, well, I have some seagulls that will come and land. And actually, today one came and he was just talking away to me. So it's really cool that you've got all these birds around you.
Oh,
It's a sign.
it's a sign. Okay, a good sign, hopefully.
It's a good sign, yeah. Of course, it's a good sign.
Okay. Look, I
Yeah.
think I'll be alarmed if they were all crows. You know that movie? I don't know if you've seen it. I'll be
Yeah, I might
alarmed.
be a little bit concerned if you had like 25 crows hanging around.
That would not be neat at all. Oh my goodness. But I think it is nice for people to connect with nature because sometimes we forget how beautiful it is. Even with the elements, with the snowstorm and tornadoes, and I mean we know we don't like them, but
Yeah.
just being to acknowledge, the power of what's going on around you.
Well, the
It's
power of nature, really,
yeah,
it's something that we can't control, but we have to embrace it and go with it because, and that's sometime in life when we're in a storm or things that we can't control. Nature is a good thing to say, okay, you know what, you need to let go of control and just go with what is happening and let it go and release it.
oh, I like that. I like that. And that's part of that coming back, right?
It
Because
is,
when,
yeah.
when we're in a storm, we kind of throw our hands up sometimes. We may isolate. We may, be upset with other people. We may
Yeah.
even lash out.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we have to be
Yeah.
able to come back to who we are. I like that. That is a
Yeah.
good.
And, sometimes we need that support to come back as well, right? I have a team of people around me that help support me and move me forward and get me going to where I want to be as well. So, it's important to have that team of people, whether it's, professionals or whatever it is, it's good to have support when you need it, definitely.
Definitely. That is a good point. And have you ever come across someone that didn't have the support that they needed? And if you have come across it, what type of encouragement or resources or whatever were you able to provide for them?
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I have somebody reached out to me like a few days ago that had no family. Her parents are gone. She's an only child and was needing some support. And so, um, just, find out what they're dealing with really and just see if, because a lot of times they don't want to ask for help because they're embarrassed or they're ashamed or whatever it is, right? And I've been there. It's like, no, I'm like financially broken. I'm not going to ask for you for money or whatever it is that you're dealing with. We feel embarrassed. So I think just to listen to what they're saying because sometimes that's all they need is somebody to hear them, and then they can kind of rethink or go in a different direction after they've talked to somebody.
Okay. I mean, listening is a It's an important factor, definitely. Definitely. Because sometimes they just want to get things off their chest. They may
Yeah,
not want your opinion or they don't want to feel judged. They just want somebody just to listen.
exactly. And that's why they say we have two ears and one mouth. So sometimes
Right.
if you just, if you just kind of not say anything and let them, and a lot of times they work it out themselves just by telling you or saying whatever's on their mind. A light bulb goes off and they go, oh, okay, maybe this is what I could do, or maybe, so, and it just lightens things up as well.
Okay. That is a great point. A great point. So, with the elements of support, communication, and listening, finding joy and that peace, what else is something that helps us to be courageous to get through things?
I believe being in action. I think fear, they say fear doesn't live in action. So sometimes when we're just in our minds and thinking all of this stuff, and I've been there many times where you think, oh my God, I'm not worthy enough, or I can't do this, or how am I going to do this? Sometimes if you just take that step, whether it's getting out of bed could be courageous for some people, or talking to a friend or going for a walk, whatever it is that helps you to be in action as opposed to just sitting in bed or on the TV eating junk food, whatever it is,
Right.
sometimes, yeah, and just picking up that phone sometimes is, calling your best friend, whatever it is.
Doing something, being in action. Action is the key word. I like
Yeah,
that. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because then we
definitely.
tend to isolate, and when we isolate, that's not helping us uh, at
No,
all.
we just go further down that little rabbit hole and just whatever it takes to kind of snap you out of it.
Mm, okay. I love
Yeah.
it. No, what is a great coping skill that you have that is like your number one go-to? Because I know you can't hike right now because it may be too cold, right?
No, I can still hike. It's not
Okay.
that cold. Go to well, I started exercising, so I'm finding that is definitely a good stress relief. And yeah, walking. They say walking is very good for you, even if you go for 15 minutes a day. And just being in again nature. With I'm lucky to be 5 minutes from the beach. So a lot of times, if I'm feeling it, I'll just go out and go down the street and sit at the beach and just be there. And even in the rain, even if it's raining, I'll maybe jump in my car and drive and sit, just be at the beach. So whatever that is for you, it could be going to your favorite little coffee shop and just being there around, removing yourself from home, especially if you work at home. Sometimes you
Oh,
kind of
yes.
just get yeah, you forget what the real world is doing sometimes because you're just focused on what you're up to and what you're doing.
That is true. That was a major transition for me starting to work from home. Uh, because I felt like I need to move around. I need to get up or do something. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't I'm not
yeah.
used to just being right here. And then when I finally left, I was like, oh, well, let me go do this. Let me go do that. Let me I was like, hold on, you can't do all this at once, but it does play a role in your psyche, when you're just
Definitely
sitting at
does.
home. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely gotta move around. So you mentioned exercise. What's your favorite exercise? Is your
Well,
exercise
I
you got
don't have favorite exercise, but I started going to hot yoga. So, like
oh,
Pilates. I find if I'm going to exercise, I want to do a whole body exercise, where I can work my
okay.
arms, my abs, my feet, my legs, all of that in 1 hour session. So, I've been doing that, and it's been fun actually. I've been making it fun, and I make sure it's scheduled in my calendar so that I don't miss my classes or say I can't go. Because if you cancel, you get charged for it. So I make sure I schedule every week to
Be
help me
consistent.
be focused. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. Listen, yoga is not as easy as some people think it is. That
Oh
is
no.
very intense,
Oh yeah.
especially what's the one? Downward, uh,
Downward dog.
yes,
Oh yeah.
all of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
that's a really good one. Now, what makes it hot though? What I mean,
the temperature in the room. Like they
oh,
crank up. They have infrared light panels on the roof, and they turn up the heat. So you sweat like you are soaked by the
oh
time you get
goodness.
out of there. Yeah. But it's
Okay,
really good because it's also cleansing the body as you're sweating and you're working out. You're cleansing the toxins in the body as well. So
okay, learn
yeah,
something new. I've
Mhm.
seen that a few times, and I said, what exactly? I was thinking like a sauna type, but I
Not
wasn't
quite
for
as hot,
sure.
but similar. Yes, like I
Similar.
think it's
Okay,
like I don't know, 31 degrees, 32 degrees in the room.
okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, that's good. Yoga is very good and relaxing. I must admit I need to get back to doing that myself. I used to do it for at least a good 15 minutes in the morning just to
Yeah.
kind of stretch my joints and everything because I'm
Yeah.
always aching a little bit. But
Yeah.
I definitely need to be in action, like you said. I need to start doing that.
Well,
Speaking
what
of
really helps is if you schedule it. If you put
that's
it in
true.
your calendar and, if you're a morning person, when you wake up, that's one of the first things you do or whatever it is that works for you.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. It's no better time than the present. There's no need
Yeah.
for me to continue to wait. So
Mhm. That's good. Sometimes we think we have tomorrow and tomorrow's never guaranteed.
that's true. That's true. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for
Hmm.
saying that. Thank you for saying that. Well, I want to say it has been a pleasure for you to be on the podcast with me. A lot of people always ask me, where do I find my guests and how did I meet this person from here and there? And sometimes it's just always good old social media, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly where I met you, and I just answered your call, and I'm like, okay, this will be fun, and it'll be enjoying and meeting you as well. It's been a pleasure, so I appreciate you having me on here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone that may be nervous or concerned about sharing their story about things that has happened with them? What would be your words of encouragement for them, for that person?
Wow. I was that person. It makes me emotional even just to say that, but I was that person thinking, you know what, I have nothing to share. I don't, but you know what? By sharing your story, even if you impact one person, it's going to make a difference
Mm, that's
because
true.
you never know what people are dealing with behind closed doors, right? Like I never knew, some of my friends grew up with abusive dads or alcoholic dads or whatever it was that they, childhood things that we go through. If I wouldn't have told my story and shared it, so you just never know. And I believe right now people are looking for something. There's a big shift in energy and things going on right now in the world, especially for women. They're looking for, community, support, whatever it is. So really, everyone has a story. It doesn't matter how big it is, how small, whatever it is. It's also very soothing to release your story. I really got present when I wrote my story, that these are the things that happened to me, but that's not who I am. I'm not my story.
Oh, I
It was
like
like a
that.
light bulb went off when I realized that. I was like, oh my God, this is just what happened. And that's it.
Do you feel like sometimes we take things that has happened to us and we wear it as a label of shame or a label of uh, embarrassment,
Of
and
course. Oh
guilt?
yeah, totally we do, especially if there's been, abuse before,
Hmm.
like whether you got bullied or, you got spankings or, if you were molested or whatever it is, there definitely is that shame and, oh, I can't tell anybody, I'm embarrassed, what if I get in trouble, all of that stuff that we we think when this happens.
Mm. That's very empowering, and I hope that someone is listening can take note to that because I always tell all of my I'll say clients. I always tell all of my clients that you're not your history.
Yeah, that's
You
powerful.
know, we're not our history, and you're not. And even if you have a condition, we'll say like a disability or anything like that, there
Yeah,
is not written on you, and don't feel like everyone has to look at you differently because of what took place or what happened to you. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
and I think that that encourages people to be able to stand tall and stand true to who you are and be happy with who you are and who you're becoming, because you're not going to be the same person that you were last year or the year before or even when you were 5. you
Oh yeah.
know
No.
you're a
And
different person, and
totally
all of
different person. Like I've met people that knew me 6 months ago, and they met me now, and you're different. You've changed, you know. So yeah, and you can change in any given moment. You know, you could get off this call and
right.
decide, okay, I'm going to make a change. Like what you said, I'm going to start exercising. That's a change, right? So the change could be just a little thing of, I'm going to get up earlier, or I'm going to change what I'm eating, or whatever that change is. It doesn't matter how big or small, is going to over time compound and become bigger.
Yes, and make a difference, and we just have to be consistent and with action. I love that word. I love that word.
That's so true. Consistently in action.
Hmm. Oh, I
Yeah.
did put that together, didn't I? Right, it's like an aha moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it has been a pleasure to speak with you, Cheryl. I'm eager to get to explore this book, Ignite Your Courage.
Yeah, I'm
It,
excited to get it to you.
yes, make sure you guys go to Amazon. You can put in. I'm quite sure if you put in the title "Ignite Your Courage," it's going to pop up,
It
and
will, yeah.
okay, they can even put your name, and it's going to probably pop up as well. So make sure
It
you
won't
support.
come up as my name because I'm not the publisher on the book.
Okay.
JB Owen is the publishing company, Ignite Publishing. So if they just punch in Ignite, it will come up. There are several other books as well around the Ignite
Around there.
publishing.
And I'm noticing that's the key word because that's the new book that's coming out in May. It says ignite too. What's
Yeah.
what's so special about this word ignite?
Everyone at some point has an Ignite moment, like a moment where they go, okay, that, and they make a change. Like one of my Ignite moments was in my 50s. I decided that I did not want to be where I was anymore. Like I hated my job, I didn't like the winters, wasn't going looking forward, wasn't getting any younger. So I decided to pack up my car, put some stuff in storage, move to another province, knowing one person. And so that was like an Ignite moment for me, because I could have chose to stay where I was and kept doing what I was doing, but just something was saying this isn't what I want to be doing anymore. So that's kind of an example of an Ignite moment where you kind of are stuck where you're at, and then you
Mhm.
have the realization that maybe there's something different, something better, and take the actions to do that.
Oh wow. I like that. So you just made the decision and got up and left, and here you and you feel a lot better, I'm assuming. Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah, like I look at pictures of myself back then, it's like I don't even recognize who that person is. Yeah, but yeah, it was one of the best things that I could ever do. And yeah, it was over a 6 month period. I put some money away and made a plan and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just put it there that I did not want to be where I was anymore, and got into action and made the plan to do it. So it's the
Mm.
best thing I ever did.
Best thing. Do you feel like fear ever tried to stop you? Were you ever afraid you weren't going to be successful with making that change?
Oh, totally. I was like real. I came with no job. I knew one person, so no guarantees of anything that it was going to work. But you know what? Fear doesn't go away. And yeah, I was like excited and petrified as well, right? It's like, but someone said to me, my mentor, he's like, you're not going to die, you won't become homeless, you're not going to, whatever. So why would you not do it? And I'm like, and I guess the worst case scenario is I could move back to where my family was and go back to that life. But I chose not to do that. So
Okay.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
and you and you didn't die. You did a whole lot of things better. You've become an author. You're by the
yeah.
beach. I mean, the list keeps
Oh yeah.
the list keeps
And that's not
going.
even everything. That's only some of the things that I'm creating. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of
Oh,
fun.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to share your story. Hence on Share the Tea Tuesdays. That's pretty much the gist of the podcast is to be able to listen and to advocate and to gain knowledge. Of course, we're talking and teaching and just be
Yeah.
able to learn something from someone else that, I don't know or other people don't know. Because
Yeah.
when you share your story, you're always empowering someone else. And you never know when you plant that little seed of hope or seed of encouragement, how it can very much be impactful in someone's life. Uh, so I applaud you
Yes.
and thank you so much, Cheryl. You have been amazing.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it, and I appreciate you taking the time to have me on your podcast, because if I wouldn't have connected with you, I wouldn't know about you either. So it's a
That's
lot of fun
true.
to meet people from all over the world. Even though I'm in Canada and you're in the U.S., it seems like we're right in the same city. So
Right, definitely,
thank you. It's been
definitely.
a
And
pleasure.
hopefully one day when I make it to Canada, I will look you up and say, okay, where do I go and what am I supposed to do? I'll do it before I get there. How about that?
All right. Well, either that or I'll come see you.
Okay, that's the deal. Well, I do thank you for coming on Share the Tea Tuesdays. Everyone, remember, don't forget to follow Miss Cheryl. Now, Cheryl, do you want them to follow you on social media or are you a
Yeah,
social media
I'm
person?
in the process of getting my website redone. So yeah, you can look
Okay,
me up on Facebook. I'm on Instagram now as well. So yeah, I would love to connect and see what you're up to. Just
okay,
share what you're doing, and I'm always open to meeting new people and having fun.
okay. And they can just look you up by your first and last name. Is it usually
Yeah,
your name? Okay.
yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah,
that's perfect. You've heard it from her. And don't forget to buy her book, Ignite Your Courage on Amazon, and look for the new book that's coming out this May, Ignite Your Joy. Joy, right? Did I say that
yeah.
right?
Ignite joy.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And we want to make sure that we support our authors that are out here and giving us lots of information and resources that we can definitely use. Remember, don't forget to follow me on all social medias except for Snap of the Chat. And always be intentional, be insightful, and definitely be impactful in everything that you do. And until I talk to you guys next Tuesday. All right. Thank you, Miss Cheryl. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Telling me to dance, taking a